With us now is the technology writer and broadcaster Kate Bevan. Kate, good to have you here with us. Now, Internet Explorer, all sorts of negative connotations for many people. Will we actually miss it?
It's not actually dying a death. It's being deprecated. It's still going to exist for enterprise, and a lot of its technology is still plumbed into Windows. So for consumers, it's pretty much going to disappear because Project Boulton will be on the next version of Windows 10. And actually, I don't think many people will miss it. Microsoft has done a lot of good work on Internet Explorer lately, but as you say, it's been pretty unloved for quite a long time.
But equally, is Chrome going to maintain its dominance on Firefox?
That's an interesting question because, I mean, I think quite a few people are increasingly concerned about Google's reach into our lives. I mean, I know I've been weaning myself off Google services. I've been playing with a browser called Vivaldi recently. So I think there's going to be quite an interesting time in browsers. And of course, as your piece noted, there's also mobile browsers around as well on all the platforms. So it's an interesting time for browsers.
Well, a worrying time for Microsoft, of course, because we saw there that graph where you saw the crossover between Chrome and Internet Explorer. Could they have looked at this more closely earlier on and tried to...
I think so, but I think the change of chief executive of Microsoft, it's now under Satya Nadella. He's making quite a lot of changes there. To somebody who's written about and watched Microsoft and the big internet companies for quite a long time, it actually feels like something's very different there, that there's a different approach, and I think this new browser is very much part of that.
One of the things about Chrome is that it's mobile. You can get your particular browser on a lot of different devices, and it also is, you know, it's not Apple and it's not Microsoft, and in a sense, isn't that part of the balance? It is part of the balance, although Chrome is of course Google, and as I pointed out earlier, a lot of people are more uncomfortable about Google than they used to be. I think you'll find Project Boulton available on all platforms. I don't know that for a fact, but the way Microsoft is going, all the Office apps are now across all the platforms. And what is the value of them in terms of money and revenue that companies get from? How do they get revenue from?
It's more about brand awareness. It's for Microsoft, it's about getting people to use its software and services. Microsoft is now a devices and services company, so it does things like, you know, sell Office 365 as a subscription service. So it's about getting people aware of those subscription services, about getting people comfortable with the Microsoft brand again, and I'm sure you'll see it on other platforms.
And as you were saying, this is all part of the changes that Satya Nadella's made since he came in to that top seat at Microsoft. Is he getting it right, though?
I think so. I mean, it would be mean-spirited, I think, to say, no, he's got lots of things wrong. I can't think of much that he's got wrong yet. I mean, you know, he hasn't been in the job that long. I think things are moving in an interesting direction. Microsoft has open sourced things like the .NET framework, which is actually quite an interesting move, taking things into the services rather than being about bottoms on seats with box software. It's an interesting time. It's an interesting time for all the software companies and the internet companies.
And will we always need a browser, or is there a possible future without browser?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Well, as long as you want to connect to the web. I mean, a lot of our interaction with the web is intermediated by apps these days, so maybe we won't need a browser in the future, but actually I quite like using a browser. It's gives you more flexibility.
Okay.
Lost without them, won't we? Kate, thank you.